Hi, everybody. Cohh here with another quick thoughts video, this time on the Once Human beta. This game definitely caught me a little bit by surprise. I had heard about it. Some friends were playing it, and we had just had this other game debacle called The Day Before, which turned out to be a giant cluster of the Fluck variety. And this game was like shortly behind it, and you know, it was kind of like overshadowed by that controversy because people were like, "Oh, cool, like another game." However, turns out Once Human is kind of awesome. So it's currently in beta, and it's an amalgamation of a lot of different things that I like kind of in one package. So I'll kind of go down it here. It is a looter shooter survival multiplayer game. And what does that mean? It means that you basically kind of like have this almost MMO style progression map. You know, you start at level 1, you move to level 5 area, then level 10, that kind of thing. It is a third-person shooter at heart. So you're doing melee, you're using machine guns, shotguns, pistols, that kind of stuff. There is a survival building component, and you also have food and water. So you are picking a little area of the map. You're seeing everyone else's little areas and their houses. You're building a house. You're making crafting stations. You're storing your items there. You're building a motorcycle and using that if you want to. And on top of that, not only is it kind of full multiplayer with, you know, war bands, and there's actually PvP if you want to do that, but it's opt-in. But there's also this kind of like control influenced kind of meta progression story thing. It's very weird. But what it has spawned is some very cool locations, some very cool enemies. The enemy design is very fun. The world lore is kind of like this dystopian, interesting, weird, again, very kind of control-y situation, very sci-fi, and kind of Cthulhian. And I have to say that now that I've spent, I don't know if is it actually on Steam? It's not on Steam. I don't know how many hours I've spent in this, but after I've been playing it now for like 5+ hours, maybe 5 to 10 hours, it's really cool. It's really cool. I'm really enjoying Once Human. There's always like new areas to like when you get to a new area, it doesn't feel very cookie cuttery. There's the enemy progression is kind of continually introducing new enemies to you. There's boss fights. There's like mini dungeons. The crafting is pretty great. The crafting and building is pretty cool. We kind of spent today almost over an hour just kind of building our little home. It's fun. It's going to be free with a cosmetic shop, and apparently they're just doing cosmetics. And frankly, it's just a very solid product. I don't think I've crashed once. There's very few bugs. I do want to let you know early. It is a Chinese game that is funded by NetEase. And I know that the word NetEase definitely inspires a lot of like, ugh. But they are saying that it's just going to be cosmetic, even though it's free to play. And if it stays that way, that's great. But I will say this is definitely one of those situations where you're going to want to be cautious and aware of the fact that it might start as cosmetic. And you know, just keep an eye on that, keep your finger on that pulse kind of thing. But yeah, I will say as of right now, it is a fun game. It is a very cool game. I'm still really enjoying my time in it. I still plan on continuing to play it. And if you go to oncehuman.com, you can sign up to, there's like a lottery thing going on every so often where they send out a big bunch of keys. And that is how you can get in currently. It's unfortunately, they did have it as an open beta. You used to be able to just go to the website, download it, and play. But then they got like 6 or 7 times the amount of people that they were expecting. Because I think like after the day before happened, everyone was like, oh, let me go see this one. And then all of a sudden, like it started spreading like wildfire. That's actually pretty damn good. And now we go from there. Oncehuman.game. Thank you. The website is oncehuman.game, not .com. And yeah, it's been cool. So anyway, this has been a kind of a long-winded thoughts video, but I feel like I had to get some stuff out for it. Obviously, it's still in beta, but as long as it keeps going like it is, I think we'll pretty much be returning on release for sure. And one final thing I do want to say before I sign off here. The writing and the dialogue is janky. Don't let that turn you off to the actual pretty great gameplay. When I first started this game, there's like this kind of story-ish heavy part, and I definitely was kind of like a little bit during it. Apparently, the dialogue and voice acting is relatively on the beta / alpha side, so hopefully we'll see some improvement there. But just keep in mind, it is you know, the gameplay is where this game really shines. All right. Anyway, on that note, come say hi in the channel, twitch.tv/CohhCarnage. We'd love to see you, and I will see you next time.